Hey guys, how are you? Nice to see you. Yellow Fox, here we are, Northern Vermont, creator of my new space. I hope you go check it out. It's awesome. I love it. I'm very pleased with it. Took a long time to make. Mindset Mentoring with Miel Fox. Those of you who already know me, my local peeps, you already know all this. So here I am. It is Saturday. I'm hoping the lighting is kind of sort of okay. I'm going to try to turn a light on. Hang tight. Let me turn a light on and see if I can get you better. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. So how's everybody doing? Kim's on, Nita's on, Sandy's on. Nice to see you, ladies. Thanks for joining me. So listen, I have a little makeup on, but not much because I'm really hoping I don't start crying, okay? But I want to share with you some of the things that have gone on for me in the last 3 weeks and how has it impacted my overall view and mindset in combination with our whole coronavirus pandemic issue. So bear with me. The story might get a little garbled. It might go back and forth a little bit, but the gems that are coming out of the stories are worth hanging on, okay? So hang tight. So we all know that needing to stay at home, only going out for essentials, not being able to see our friends and family, not actually having our regular social interaction outside of social media here is difficult, and it creates a lot of mental disruption for us because honestly, we're spoiled rotten. We're used to having everything our own way. So that being said, it's super easy for me to jump on and say, well, change your mindset. We'll just think about it this way. We'll look for the positive. But you know what? That's not so easily done. And I'm going to tell you my first story I'm going to tell you. And how did my first story lead to my second story? So here's my first story. About 3 weeks ago, a hair over 3 weeks ago, I received a phone call from a hospital in Texas where my brother lives, and I had not seen my brother since he moved from Vermont to Texas. We talked on the phone every 2 weeks, but I just never got out there. You know, you get busy, you're this, you're that, whatever. You know, going to Texas in the dead of summer really wasn't it for me. So I just never got out there, but we talked every 2 weeks. Fast forward, I get the phone call about 3 weeks ago saying, your brother's very ill, he's in ICU, you need to come. Okay. This is before the whole virus thing goes haywire, all right? So I say to my boss, hey, I'm sorry, family emergency, I gotta go. And of course, where I live, you know, there's only like 2 planes that leave on a good day. So imagine what it's like when things start to get a little dicey and you can't get in and out anymore. So here's my first gold nugget. Thank you, thank you, thank you to whomever, whatever, the universe, the Lord, the whatever. Grateful that I got my hiney out and I got to Texas before I couldn't get out, okay? So I get to Texas and my brother is very, very ill and he's in ICU. And fast forward to make a very long story short, he passes 12 days later. So this is like 3 weeks ago. So that in itself was extremely hard and very trying and very emotional. And it's taken me 3 weeks to get to today where I can talk about it without blah. So, and I may still cry, but it's taken me this long to kind of work through some of the dynamics of it and to find the good in it and the okay in it. Because I'm telling you, good morning, Elia, nice to see you. I'm telling you, when you're in it, you can't find one good gold nugget, honest to God. I mean, it's so emotional and intense and difficult and heartbreaking. You're like, this can't possibly have something good coming out of it. You just can't even see it, right? So, long story short, my brother does pass. And we have a lot of problems going on with that afterwards and so on and so on. So I'm due to leave on Saturday. You know, I had a 1 week window. I was due to leave on Saturday. Well, from the time that he dies to taking care of some paperwork and the crematorium and all of a sudden, you know, and I'm not watching the news because I'm too busy dealing with his stuff. And then I'm listening to the radio in the vehicle, and it's like, well, this is closed, and this is closed, and this is closed, and and I'm like, oh. So all of a sudden I realized, wow, I may not be getting home. So my sister graciously, who happened to be in the state at the same time, said, here, take my miles, and we're going to fly you home. So she flies me home. So I get home like in the snick of time, okay? I get home right before ga-bang, ga-boom, everything blows up and you can't go anywhere and you can't do anything. So now I'm home and I come home to find out that my office is closed, that we're not seeing anybody, basically. We sort of are now. We're like doing teledentistry, if you want to call it that, where we can triage stuff over the phone, but we are restricted nationally. Like, I'm sure you guys know this. This is not rocket science, I'm telling you. Everybody knows this. So, we're not really seeing anybody physically in the office because unless you're literally an airway obstruction or you're bleeding to death, you're not an emergency. So we have this whole thing. So all of a sudden I come home with, oh my gosh, I've been gone. I've had a death in the family. There's the whole psychological, emotional turmoil that goes along with that. Now we throw the coronavirus on top of that. Then we throw the maybe you're not going to have, work. And we don't know when we're going to reopen. And, the list goes on. It goes on. It goes on. So what's my point? I'm not telling you this story for boohooism, okay? I'm telling you this story because here 3 weeks later when I can actually talk without falling apart, here is what I learned. There are so many people dying every single day with this stupid virus. I mean, it's just horrible. And people are dropping like flies. And here's the thing. They have families. They have people who love them. But because of the severity of the event, they don't even get an opportunity to say goodbye. They don't have an opportunity to catch up mentally and psychologically put the pieces together to recognize here's what's going on. It's like boom, like a light switch, okay? These people are just, their lives are suddenly like boom, shattered in a heartbeat, like in an instant. So when I hear the numbers, and the problem is you watch the news and you hear the numbers and you almost become like numb to it. Like, oh, there was 1,000 here, there's 1,000 there, there's 10,000 over here, there's 250,000 there. And here's the thing. If it isn't hitting home to you, in your family, in your community, in your network, I don't mean to be rude, but you kind of go, whoa, but it isn't the same whoa when it's you. Because when you walk the path and you have to go through the heartache and the heartbreak and watching somebody can't breathe and you can't get there and you can't see them, all of a sudden, your woe becomes real. And I'm not saying that to be mean, folks. I'm really not. Here's what I'm trying to say. When you start bitching, when you start griping that, oh, I have to wear a bandana to the store. I can't even believe this. Oh, I can't go shopping. Oh, I can't visit with my friend Boo Boo. Oh, I can't. Okay, stop. Just stop. Because you're not going somewhere is going to save someone's life. And here's why. Because you could or could not be carrying something that you have no idea you have. Because there's no symptoms that show up for several days. So you don't know. You have no idea. So this whole thing of could you please cover up? Could you please stay home? Could you please not do the things you normally do? All right, gang, it is not for your next 60 years, all right? It is for a window of time, and we will get through this, and we will survive this. And these are the gratefuls that I'm taking out of this. First of all, okay, not exactly the kind of vacation I was looking for, but okay, I suddenly actually have more time to do the things that I never had time to do. Okay, thank you very much. I'm spending more time with my close family, being my boyfriend, my animals, than I ever have, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm seeing things that I just, never see because I'm never physically usually here. I'm grateful for that. I'm going to tell you the story of my brother. I am so grateful that I was able to get there and be there in his time of need, so he didn't become a statistic and die alone. Yeah. For that, I'm beyond grateful. I'm just so grateful I can't even begin to tell you. Because as hard as it was, I'm telling you guys, it was so hard. As hard as it was to look at somebody you adore, you love, and say to them, let me help you die. Because you don't have a choice. That is the worst thing in the world you could ever have to do for somebody. And I thought it was the worst thing in the world. But guess what would be worse? Not being there. Not being able to sit with him while he died. Not being able to say to him, I love you and it's going to be okay. All right? That's what's happening to all these coronavirus people. They don't get to say goodbye. They don't get to have someone say, let me hold your hand while you transition because I know it's going to be okay. And I love you. They don't get it, right? So what am I taking out of these stories I'm telling you? Oh my gosh, the attitude of gratitude, people. Please, I beg of you, be grateful for what you have. This is not the end of the world for us, okay? This is not going to go on for decades. It's going to be a rough window. It could be half a year. It could be a year. I mean, I don't know. Are we going to have people who die? Yeah, we are. We absolutely are. Are they going to be maybe friends and family? Yeah, they will be. They absolutely will be. But your job is to keep two huge things in your mindset here to get through this, okay? One is gratefulness. Every day, I'm asking you to please think at least of 5 things that you can be grateful for in this crisis that will bring you a sense of thankful, gratitude, appreciation, love. Okay, so that's the first thing. Attitude of gratitude, please. The second thing is, sorry, my nose is all drippy now. The second thing is small acts of kindness. Okay, you can never do enough kind things for people. It could be a kind word. It could be, leave a plate of cookies on somebody's doorstep. It could be maybe you have 2 rolls of toilet paper, you donate one. I mean, I don't know. Whatever your thing is, there's no shortage on the need for acts of kindness. And those are probably, to me, the 2 things that I'm taking out of all of this. I'm so grateful, despite I had some difficulties, despite I've lost someone very dear to me, I'm so grateful that I could be there. Because there's people who can't, and I get it. And I'm just so grateful to do this. Here's another gratefulness. Okay, the last major event that this country had in the war, we didn't have computers. We didn't have social media. We didn't have the ability to FaceTime and Zoom and do all those other things. We just didn't have that. So think of the mental anxiety that people are going through now because they feel disconnected. They feel like, oh my gosh, I can't socialize. I can't this, I can't that. Well, how about people in your grandparents and your great-grandparents era? They didn't have what we have. How much harder was it for them? Think of that. We're whining because we're being asked to stay home and put a bandana on. I mean, hello, get over yourself. We can still have food. We can still have toilet paper. You can take a walk in the park. Just stay 6 feet away from somebody. This is not the end of the world, people. It just isn't. You could even compare it to, the people who are in Europe who have been decimated in complete genocide. What, do you think they would complain if someone said, could you stay home? They'd be like, oh yeah, glad to, right? I mean, it's all a matter of perspective. It's all a matter of what you decide about it. It's all a matter of how do you choose to feel about it. I'm not saying don't feel a little upset, be a little anxious, be a little irritated. Sure, that's normal. That's totally normal, okay? But don't let it drive your life. Don't let it be the thing that changes your mindset every day. Get something good in there. Get fresh air every day, okay? When you coop yourself up and you get no fresh air, no good. Just no good. No good for this. No good for this, okay? Get outside. Don't do it in a big group, but get outside. Take a walk. Walk the dog. Go to the woods. Do something. Here's your rather grateful. Most of us, we live rural. Man, are we freaking lucky. We can go outside and we don't see anybody. Anybody. We're not stuck like in downtown Manhattan where you can't go anywhere. I mean, we are really blessed. So I ask of you, please, take 5 minutes. Look around yourself. Look at what you do have. Look at the grateful things in your world, in your life, and be kind. Just be kind. Just realize we are all in this together. We are all struggling in our own way, and everybody struggles a little differently than somebody else. And so to compare our struggle to their struggle isn't really quite accurate. You just need to have some compassion and know this is going to go by us in time. It won't be tomorrow, but it will. And in the meantime, spread the love, Don't spread the germs, just spread the love and be kind. Okay, I think I'm done crying and sniveling and carrying on. I'm really happy to see you guys. I'm so happy to see you. I just haven't really had it in me to get on and go live because I knew I would cry. I knew it. And I just want to say I love you guys. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your support. I'm actually going to go and put a couple new blogs on the website, so if you want to update your blog reading, feel free, neilfox.com. I'm just going to change some of the blogs and kind of talk a little bit about this so other folks can see it and read it. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get on here a couple times a week, because if nothing else, it kind of breaks up the monotony of seeing the same thing on Facebook over and over. So Anyway, there you go. I love you guys. Thank you for jumping on. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. I miss everybody. And stay safe, just stay safe. And look at the bandana wearing as a fashion opportunity. I mean, my gosh, now you can like really do it up. My friend Nita, she's in the clothing line. Little does she know that I'm going to be taking her clothing and using it for my bandana, right? Nita, those Cassies make great bandanas. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. I love you. Take care. Thanks for jumping on. Bye-bye.